Episode 164 of the BIC podcast, and we're probably all snowed in. It's basically bad enough, Brandon, that at this point, we're going to have the usual segments. We'll have Silly Card of the Week. We're going to have a handful of pickups. We'll give Eric a chance to try to brag about his Patriots. I will make fun of them. This is what we do. But I got to be honest with you, Brandon, if this continues, if this dry spell continues, then we may have to become the BIC Precious Metals podcast. It may be all about the gold and silver, baby. To the moon.
Silver and gold. I got the beard like Yukon Cornelius.
Listen, but with the beard, Brandon, you would fit in so much with a lot of the stackers. It's like, keep stacking, keep buying. I'm just saying, it could work out. It'd be great.
Well, I found the silver on Friday night, if you remember. So I'm good. I got my Kiss silver.
And went up in price again, Eric. Like it's gone up.
Oh,
your fortune is growing by the minute. Look,
awesome.
It's like, we're going to update everybody on the gold and silver market, Brandon, because honestly, like I said, things are a little quiet. We got to make do the best we can. Otherwise, Eric, we're this close. Let me tell you, one more week of this, and it's going to be a bar rescue recap podcast. That and more.
We're going to have to figure out this Monkey Luffy One Piece crap, I guess, so we can talk cards.
You literally cut off. I was going to hit the music. You cut it off. All right, that and more in this episode of BC Podcast. Look, I'd like to say under the watchful eyes of Brett Favre, but he's looking down, just shaking his head. It's a rough scene. That beginning transition right there had the coordination of the Super Bowl bound New England Patriots offense. Like, that's how bad it was. Like, it was bad. It was rough. We'll get back to that. We'll get back to all that. We'll discuss more in a few minutes, lest we become the bar rescue recap, because look, I'd be happy to do it. I've watched a lot more episodes, so we're there. All right. So let's go through a lot of the regular segments. Let me start off real quick. First, we'll talk about comments from last week's episode. So I've got them on here. So Hodges1455 said, I gave the video a like, enjoyed the listen. Thank you very much. Zach says, I saw the picture of Eric with the mayo. Nice, says Carlos. Your efforts never go unnoticed. I thank you for noticing. Barnort says, I enjoyed this one. Brian North says, people appreciated their cards being sent back to get the lower grades. Cue the Jennifer Lawrence okay gif. And Bobbles and Ball Cards did respond to that. Of course, I did also pose the question, Brandon, as a follow-up to that. I did pose the question. I did say, I'm okay with it as long as the people are like, yeah, it's good. Because if it's me, Brandon, no, you send me that shit. Overgraded shit, hand it over.
Yeah, and we talked about it Friday night, and I kind of showed what it was. Like, people are making it was this massive thing. It wasn't. And there was actually two of them that had a self-explanation to it.
Well, I think the key is, though, as a customer, as long as the customer gets the first right of refusal, then they say, yeah, please do. Or they say, send it to me. And as long as you send it to them, if they say so and otherwise resend it, then who cares? Then the customer got the choice.
There's actually an example of that. There was a 89 Topps Griffey that got sent back one time. And I think it had I think they put 1986 Topps on it, on the label or something. And the guy actually asked, he's like, can you not send that and get it fixed? I actually think that's kind of a funny error. So, I sent it to him. He kept it as a 1986 Topps Griffey.
Yeah, so the customer has right of refusal. As long as the customer gets their choice, then fair enough. It's fair game. Josh here included. Hashtag vote for the 5 Pete. He's trying to support you, Eric. Rob here says, guys, I don't remember whose card is whose when it comes time to vote. Well, I appreciate that, Rob. Your integrity is appreciated. Dan's Vintage Baseball PC says, Coach Dave doesn't have a strong quarterback knowledge. I blame the concussions. Zach responds, maybe it's the true lack of knowledge. We can't blame everything on the concussions. Zach is questioning if we should blame the concussions on everything.
We have to draw a line.
Yes, indeed. Interesting. Very interesting.
My lines are all crooked because of the concussions.
So it would appear. So one thing I'll add here is I'll include a link in the description as well. I included Cardboard Cynics episode 2. I did the episode with Dan. It is a home and home. So the way it works is one episode will be on Dan's. That was the episode 1. Episode 2 is on here. Episode 3 in a couple of weeks, most likely, will be over back on Dan's channel. So feel free to check it out. I've actually created a playlist on this channel. The playlist includes everything. So regardless of which channel you're on, if you check out the playlist here, I'll include a link in the description for it. You can then go in chronologically if you like. You can go straight in order from one to the other. We try a very different format on there. Happy to get feedback. If you got questions or anything, feel free to do so. Appreciate the engagement from everybody. So it's been good so far. And we did get a chance to talk about the infamous YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. And actually, that reminds me, Eric, since it is approaching, it is nigh. It is getting close. We don't know the specific date, but it is approaching. I think Brandon at the tail end will spend a couple of minutes so that Eric can make his pleas for adjacency. Because I talked about it with Dan, but Eric is now here. He of the one-man kazoo parade. So I think we can discuss this matter. I think it's worthy of a few minutes of discussion, aka slow news week. Hashtag slow news week. Getting slower all the time. Man. Anyway, so that's that. All right, let's do silly card of the week. So let me quickly give you the results from last week's. Let me see if I can take the quick screen grab here on this one. I like to show the screen grab. That way we don't miss out on giving everybody the full picture, Eric. We may as well give them that little piece of information. So let's see. So last week we had a total of, let me make sure I got it, 40 votes. So a solid turnout. So thank everybody who did do that. Okay. And let me show you here the results. We got our 3, and here it is right now. Here. All right. The high step got 5% of the popular vote. Oh. Got 43% of the popular vote, with Jake the Snake taking 53%. It did have the majority vote.
God damn. All right. Congratulations. Kick me off.
The Seahawks prevailed.
Yes. 5-peat was averted. Eric was on a run there. It was his moment. Alas. So we'll have our new ones this week. It will be another community post. Thank you, everybody that participated and commented. So I appreciate that as well. I'll actually quickly touch on it because some people did comment on the poll as well. And I thought that was good. So we got that on there. SB says, Jake the Snake looks like a Goosebumps cover. Fair enough. Dan's Vintage Baseball says, the reign of Coach Dave ends this week. Is it Dan from Saugus? Must be, says Sanderson Moore. The reign of Coach Dave ended. Not with a bang, but with a whimper.
With a whimper.
It is what it is. It happens. That's the last time you show a patch of Alexander Ovechkin looking like Alexander Ovechkin and crawl on that silly card, Eric. That'll teach you.
Looks like a Neanderthal.
I think this week is actually a little bit more appropriate. I feel that this week we got the theme correctly on this one. So I let me show you what we've got here on this one. I'll include a community post in the tab so you can vote for your favorite. I'll try to make sure it's out earlier this week. This past week was a little bit late, but we still got some votes in, so thank you. But let me show you what we got. Let's start off with this one. Thematically, you can guess who is responsible for this. Shocking.
That is future Coach of the Year, Mike Vrabel, trying to pull down 407-year-old Philip Rivers. And it looks like he's being dragged. It's almost like he's kind of got him by the reins up like a horse, So I just thought this was pretty silly when we saw it at the shop this week. And, it tickled me.
So Brandon, I like to put little hashtags for the selections every week whenever we show these images. I'm going to call this one hashtag the cheating standard. Oh. I appreciate that, the leader exemplifying the correct level of cheating, which is New England uses.
I thought Eric was going the angle of potentially Vrabel giving Rivers a wedgie. Even though I do know he's pulling his shirt.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of hands on the jersey, yes.
Yeah, he kind of looks like he's trying to give him a wedgie, though.
But what I will say, this image is also I'm not seeing Rivers moving backwards. I'm seeing Rivers trying to fight through it and going forwards.
We know Rivers has that power back, that power quarterback that could run the ball. He great at that.
I'm just saying.
That's why the tush push didn't exist then. He was such a power, like it says right there, power players. It just so happens Vrabel was in the picture.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See, this
right is here, a quarterback.
That's somebody being taken down, Eric.
Yeah. Oh God. He's screaming for his too.
This card has it all for silliness. Yeah. Okay.
The look on Rich Gannon's face. Yeah. And also look at the player above him. This, Eric, is some proper facial expressions. Look, Eric, the look is correct and accurate.
Yeah.
His chin strap is coming off. He's like screaming. You got two big dudes. The one on top is like screaming and choking him. And this is actually Rich Gannon's card. This is the image they used for his card, not number 37, not number 97. This is Rich Gannon's card. And to make it even better, look down at the bottom corner. They got him there plastered in the Chiefs uniform and everything for his Raiders card. It has it all. It's great. And you got the lineman back there like no help at all. But yeah, I thought this was a good one. If you could choose a bad picture, I think Score got the job done.
And the guy that's choking him has got a cast on his right hand. He's got a broken thumb or wrist or something. Oh man. That's something.
Well, listen, Eric, unlike that example of Mike Vrabel's cowardice, Rich Gannon there is trying to fight through it like a man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's not working because there's two gigantic men on him, but he's trying, Eric. The effort is there.
It kind of looks like he's screaming like a little girl. Not that I would blame him, because that is what I would do in that situation.
Well, see, I want, here's the question I would like the commenters to answer. In today's game, how many flags would be thrown right here?
7.
Yes.
Because
the answer is
the
yes.
ground,
The answer is yes.
7.
like this in today's game would be like 62 yards in penalties.
Brandon, in today's game, the two Jacksonville Jaguar players
would
both be arrested for murder.
Yeah.
Straight to the chair. Both of them.
Oh yeah.
Just saying. Kudos to Rich Gannon for fighting the good fight. There you go. Like I said, I think this week we had an appropriate theme, Eric. I did appreciate that this week. I feel like we got the spirit of it correct this time around. All right, let me show the last one here. So here we've got, kind of MVP runner-up Cal Raleigh, who had a great season this past season. See, Eric, this is the look of abject terror.
Uh-huh.
The ice bucket's coming. But look at the man's face. Like he knows it's coming. He's like preparing for it to come. This is like what would happen. This is like moments before Rich Gannon's second stream disaster. The previous image showed what happens when it arrives. This is what happens. Like it's coming. You know it's coming. He's already responding to it. This is basically what would happen at the expo if we had a big gigantic jug of mayo and Eric is like,
oh yeah,
just bracing for it, bracing for impact. It's coming.
I'd be on my knees screaming like Rich Gannon if you guys tried that nonsense.
Pretty much.
You know what you have to really appreciate with this picture, outside of the image and Stadium Club and all that? But the innovation by Gatorade, they now have 2 handles on each side so you can pick it up and do the Gatorade bath.
That's right.
Creativity and innovation there. Props to Gatorade.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So to be clear, Stadium Club still is really great if you look through it. Like I got to tell you, if you're going to get a set, Eric, Stadium Club is one of those ones that still, you probably want to look through the cards. You're going to find stuff. There's some interesting stuff. I appreciate that they still take pride in the photo selection. So this is from the 2024 series. Very well done. Good job on the photo selection on this one. So those will be your selections. Those are your options for Silly Card of the Week. We will have a community post on it. You can select anyone that you want for any reason you like. We count every single vote. The only true democracy in this world. It is true. Now, with that said, I've got a handful. Do you guys have any pickups you would like to share?
I only have one that's came in.
Sure. Do you want to share it there? I've got 2.
Yeah, I'll share it real quick.
I can share.
It's the same guy that I've been showing a lot recently. So been putting together a little collection of him. But this is the Topps Chrome Sapphire. Yes, if you have heard the Topps Chrome Sapphire basketball fiasco, here is the black Sapphire out of 10 for Dalen Lyle. So no need to spend thousands on the boxes when you can pick up the pieces that you want at a much cheaper price.
I've got 2. One of them, both patches. One of them has arrived already to ship my cards. Otherwise, it's defying gravity, so I'll show you in the image. And then the second one I just purchased off the eBays, but I'll give a little background and explain this one a little bit. So first one that we got is from Prime Cuts. So Leaf Rookies and Stars, I think this is 06 Prime Cuts, 06 Leaf Rookies and Stars, and it's called Prime Cuts. It is the Not Swell fella himself.
Oh boy.
The patron saint up there, absolutely. So we got the little patch piece on there. We got the colors, which I always appreciate when we actually get a chance to see the colors on the basically on the shoulder piece there. And this was number 25, actually, kind of sneaky, but at the same time, actually not very expensive at all. It was actually very inexpensive, which I was super happy about. Always nice to add.
Actually, got all 3 colors on it, doesn't it?
Yep. Yeah, that's why I was like, I was a fan that they actually managed to capture that, because it's tough, because you can see the bands are thick enough, or if you don't position it right, then you miss out on the third color and it's not quite as nice. But this one you managed to get it in there, which is good.
I think it's a great looking card. The patch, the patch piece or whatever it is, jersey piece looks absolutely fantastic. I like everything about it except that this product is called Rookies and Stars. One, we all know he was a rookie with the Atlanta Falcons. So this doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And this card did not come out as his rookie year, obviously. So
Eric,
we're ignoring the and stars. You literally
yeah,
said the word.
I think
and
that's actually really appropriately named because they don't just assume
Eric,
that
he was still
rookies
during his
are
playing days.
stars.
Yeah, this is during his playing days. He's an and star.
Yeah, I just okay. I don't like
this.
it.
Was still there's rookies and stars. He is an and star.
Yeah, I don't like
That's
it.
what anyway, okay. All right. Second one here. So this one is from the Hockeys. So this is in the numbers. This is 0102. Now, the thing with this one, Brandon, is a lot of the be a player stuff from around this time period. The problem is, and this happens all the time with these, is that these are not numbered. And that automatically creates this confusion with a lot of folks because unfortunately, people don't realize it. And whenever you've got one of these cards included, because it's not numbered, people don't realize what they have. There were actually 3 different Medano patches that were available on eBay this past week or so. I tried to make a play for all 3. The first one was 1 in 7,500 packs from Upper Deck. That one went for a very strong amount of money. I think it was just shy of $500. So very strong in terms of that. The second one was a numbered to 15 Upper Deck patch, which obviously is already numbered on there. That one went for slightly above my bid. So I was the underbidder on that one. So just missed out on that one. But this was the third one. This one actually went for the least of the 3. Now, here's the thing. First one is 1 in 7,500 packs, which is a very tough card to find, no doubt. But like I said, it sold for $7,500. Sorry, it sold for about just shy of $500. That's fine. The second one is numbered to 15, and it sold for about $200. I probably should have been a little more aggressive with that one, to be honest. It was a good patch piece. This one, though, because it's be a player, people forget sometimes. And I've heard podcasts where people don't remember that in the early 2000s, up until the early 2000s, be a player was fully licensed. That's why you can see the full, you see his jersey, you see the logo, it's all there.
Right.
It's fully licensed. What they don't realize, Brandon, is that even though they don't number them, the print run on these was 10. This was actually the rarest of the 3 and went for the least of the 3. Now, I grant you the patch piece. I would love to have had a multicolor patch piece. There's some good options on there. But to be honest, Brandon, these don't come across all the time. So when I get a chance to get one, I was like, so this is a situation where I know what the print run is. And because when I know what the print run is, I'm like, actually, it's a very tough card. I don't come across it all the time. I haven't seen one come back online and be available in a couple of years. So I'm happy to add it to the collection. It was the cheapest of the 3. So I missed out on the other 2, but the one that was the cheapest of the 3 was the one with the lowest print run of the 3, technically, which is kind of funny if you think about it.
Just shows
knowledge sometimes knowledge is a useful thing.
Education goes a long way.
It does. It does. Anything you want to share, Eric? Anything in terms of pickups?
Yeah, I got 2 things. One thing I showed on Friday, but this is a different show. I picked up another Eddie Shore autograph off of the eBays. We're always very happy to get anything autographed by Eddie Shore. The next time we have the authenticators that will remain nameless in the shop, which we have like every 6 months or so, we'll definitely be getting a sticker on this one. But this is a piece of newspaper that they glued on a little bit of cardboard. But it says Hello Bill, Eddie Shore. So that's one I'm very excited about. That's now my second Eddie Shore piece autographed. And then because I just simply don't have enough of these, I got another Gordie Howe autograph. And this was a promotional piece out of 35,000. There's a prototype card that someone got him to autograph. And I believe that this the whole thing was this Tab Sports Card shows was going to like give away this this jersey. So it was a promotional thing. And this was back in 1992. But so I was in high school, graduating. I was a senior in high school or a freshman in college, depending on when it came out. But anyway, another Gordie Howe auto in the collection. So that always makes me happy.
Indeed.
So 2 Mount Rushmore autographs.
Impressive. I see. So, like I said, pickups have kind of slowed down. It is nice to find those pieces. Still good. A lot of the hobby stuff right now has slowed down quite a bit because a lot of our scandalous stuff at the end of last year, we've kind of quieted down on. Although, like I said, for me, it's kind of funny because now we kind of shift our attention to other things. So we're going to spend a little bit of time now talking about some footballs. We'll do that a little bit, and then we'll have a little bit of fun with the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame thing at the end because that's always a fun time to include in there. But let's talk about the weekend that was. So I was actually recording the Cardboard Cynics episode with Dan during the AFC Championship game. So I'll quickly say, as expected, it was probably one of the worst football games ever played. Honestly, we should just throw out both teams just on principle. I feel like, Brandon, in a situation like that, if you can't make it to two touchdowns, I honestly think we should just throw you up.
I actually said that in the Discord. I said the NFL should review this and just eliminate the AFC from the Super Bowl and allow the Rams and Seahawks to play.
Yeah, they should just play again. Be great. They should play for the legitimate Super Bowl because honestly, those are the only teams that showed up to play. But nonetheless, we did in fact technically have a game. Technically. So I'm going to let Eric give his moment. But before we do, Eric, in the spirit of completeness, what are the updated totals? What is the updated records on the picks?
Oh, let me find those. Start in reverse order. Brandon, you picked Broncos and Seahawks, so you got 1 point. That brings your total to 7. Carlos, you picked Pats and Seahawks. You got 2 points. And that brings your total to 8. I, who gets made fun of constantly about my picks.
And you will continue to be made fun of constantly. Yes. Go on.
Pats and Seahawks, which also gave me 2 points, which brings my total to 10. 10. Therefore, I am winning.
So I have a question, Eric.
Can't lose.
I have one question. How many games did you watch?
I watched every one of them.
So you've watched every playoff game?
Yes.
Congratulations for getting 10. You know how many I've actually watched?
None.
Correct. And I was still able to get 7.
But Brandon, I got to tell you, I want to remind everybody that I am very clear and transparent. Brandon, one of the hallmarks of what we do here is that I want to be transparent with everyone.
Oh, here we go.
And I have been very clear on this issue. I've said this NFL year is weird. And some would argue almost to the point of hashtag rigged. So, Brandon, I love me a theme. So I said.
Also, real quick, I want to point out to Eric that the differential is because I picked against the Patriots every single week and you happen to get them right. So that's really the only split that we have.
Well, Eric, as you may recall, I did allude to, regardless of what happened, I was going to revisit this when we got to the Super Bowl picks.
Yes.
Because I was going to find a way to screw you out of this.
Oh, and I'm
the Super Bowl is the big chalupa. We gotta go big.
Brandon. And I have come up and in accordance with the prophecy, as the prophecy foretold, I have come up with, Brandon, the exact way in which we're going to be able to successfully pull this off with the maths.
No.
Yes.
No.
So, Eric, I'm very happy for you. You are at 10 correct. But Brandon, allow me to tell you what we're going to do for the Super Bowl.
No.
For the Super Bowl.
Mouths.
For the Super Bowl,
no.
we are going to have our picks, just like we did for all the other ones. But for the Super Bowl, we have a special scoring system.
Oh, of course we do.
If you are able to successfully select the Super Bowl champion, Brandon, you will receive 5 points. You receive the equivalent of 5 wins.
Ooh.
Now, hold on. Stay with me on this. If you select the Super Bowl champion correctly, you will get 5 wins. If you select the Super Bowl champion incorrectly, I am going to give you 3 wins. Now, you say to yourself, well, all you got to do then is get it right. It doesn't really matter. Then, there's a gap of 2. Like, what difference does it make? Well, that's where our multiplier comes in. See, I'm going to give you a multiplier. All you got to do, again, winner gets 5, loser gets 3, Brandon. So, see, mathematically, you can come back. You can come all the way back from where you are. But you see, the multiplier is based on one of 2 things. I'm going to multiply your score based on how many articles of bacon or mayonnaise you consume between now and the Super Bowl. So, and now just to be clear, Brandon, if you consume none of these things, that's a 0. And Brandon, let's say you get the Super Bowl right. That's 5 points. But if I multiply that by 0, how many points do you get?
0.
Yeah, that would be 0. Mm-hmm. So I just want to let you know, Eric, what I had for dinner was pasta, tuna, and mayonnaise. 1. Did I mention that even if you get it wrong, that's 3? So, Brandon, I've already locked in a minimum of 3 points. Do you want me to get my mayonnaise jar, Eric? I can grab it for you. So, like I said, all you got it, Brandon. But Brandon, let's say, for example, you had a BLT sandwich. Well, the B in BLT is bacon.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times they make it with mayonnaise. Well, that's 2.
Stop it.
Or a bacon, egg, and cheese. They usually put mayo on it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, between now and then, Brandon, all I have to say is, Eric, enjoy your most delicious of defeats. Per the maths. Brandon, did I not say I would find a way to screw this man out of it? Eric, it's okay. All you gotta,
I think it's fair.
I'm giving you 2 weeks. All you got to do is you can drown yourself in bacon. You can have, yourself a chocolate stick in bacon. You could wrap your chocolate stick in bacon. I really don't care. But 0 is 0. 0 multiplied by 0 is 0. So go ahead, make your pick. What's your pick?
Would you allow it if he ate bacon strips? Because they're
no, Brandon. The whole point of this is to screw Eric out of this. No matter what, he's dead in the water.
They might be worse though.
So go ahead, pick one. It's like, go ahead, pick one. You lose either way. See, Brandon, ultimately the maths always win.
Hey, it's the big chalupa.
Yes.
Bacon, mayo, chalupa.
The big mayo, bacon chalupa. Brandon using his crippling weakness against him.
Wait, we should play a little fair, Eric. We'll even throw in a bonus point if you can name the Super Bowl MVP. But the multiplier still applies.
The multiplier still applies. Yeah.
But there's a chance. You have a chance.
A chance. That's right. So Brandon, I'm at 1. So currently the multiplier is at 1. Just to be clear on this issue. And you know what I'm thinking, Brandon? As soon as a little bit of snow clears, I'm feeling like having a BLT. I feel like that'd be delicious.
Just
glorious.
It's like a springtime on the cusp of spring.
Ooh,
delicacy.
Brandon, how about this?
What do you guys?
Eric, how about I do this? I'll give you a half point if you listen to a full Pink Floyd album.
Nope. I won't.
See, Brandon, I gave him an out. Now
you can do it while riding the bike.
I won't
it's
do
not
that.
Like you're going to hear it anyway.
I will not do that to my ears. No,
Brandon, I'm going to have to eat my BLT as I listen to "Wish You Were Here" and "Dark Side of the Moon" back to back.
Bacon and mayonnaise.
Oh my god, Brandon, who are you picking?
You already know. I'm staying.
Go Hawks! 10. We're all against you, Eric. Go Hawks and pick your Patriots, and you still lose.
I'm not changing now. I'm not changing. I have sacrificed those 3 points at the will of the luck of the Patriots. I am staying on course.
Okay.
Now the important thing, Brandon, the only question is how much does Eric lose by? Because it depends on how much bacon I feel like eating between now and the Super Bowl. I'll keep tabs. I'll keep tabs. Eric, for you and the integrity of this entire process, I will keep tabs. The hashtag Mats for the win.
Oh, good Jesus.
Brandon, did I or did I not say I was going to screw Eric out of this?
I think it's fair. I think the scoring system is accurate and fair, and
it is just. It is righteous.
It's on the cusp of being as fair and legitimate as the silly card of the week votes.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, I happen to think my philosophy that I took going into this to figure out this incredibly elaborate point system, Brandon, was I wanted to make sure. I like to call this my tuck rule game clause.
Yeah. It's fair for everybody. Like everybody's got a chance here.
Hashtag the bullshit is real. So it's just as real as a tuck rule game. Just as real. Feel free to make your picks in the comment section. We'll circle back around to it. All right. So now, Brandon, having cleared the air on that, let us briefly discuss the AFC and NFC championships. Because NFC championship game I did actually watch in its entirety, I will let you guys lead on the AFC championships. So Eric will make his case why this is legitimate, even though I think it's full of crap. But nonetheless, we'll move on. But before I continue, and before I say anything else, I do want to make a point. Can I give a comparison, Brandon? May I? We had Drake May, someone that some try to argue was an MVP candidate. Drake May, in that game that they won, he was 10 of 21 for 86 yards. I know Eric is not about the maths. Allow me to assist you. 10 of 21 is sub 50%, below 50%, underneath 50%. He was actually outdueled by Jarrett Stidham, who was 17 of 31 with 143 yards. He did throw a touchdown, and he threw a touchdown. He did throw a touchdown. Now, ultimately, they won. So, what's interesting is not everybody try to make a comparison. Brandon, I'd like to give you a different stat line of a player in a conference championship game, an AFC championship game, no less. 9 of 18 for 190 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and a passer rating of 83.1. Not amazing, not terrible. But those numbers dwarf those of the Drake May. Do you know who that was? In an AFC championship game, 9 of 18, 190 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And your hint is this individual, would you go to the Super Bowl, and he has a Super Bowl ring?
Joe Flacco.
No.
Trent Dilfer. It's one of the two.
I was thinking Dilfer.
It is the Trent Dilfer.
Yeah. Because even
so
in
Drake
the Super
May,
Bowl, he didn't have high numbers. Jamal Lewis had a great playoff run.
Drake, but the thing is, he threw for almost 200 yards, and he threw for a touchdown. So Drake May is like a half Dilfer.
Who never gets credit. Like, nobody ever appreciates the Dilfer because that defense was so dominant. Yes. Hell, Ray Lewis won the Super Bowl MVP. That's how discredited Trent Dilfer was.
Mm-hmm. Now, with all that said and that context given, Brandon, why don't you start and then Eric can try to justify this trash?
So, as I said earlier, I did not watch the game. I was actually watching another show with my wife. But I did have it up on the ESPN little ticker thing so I could see, the ball moving back and forth and read what was happening on the
Ironically, looking at that through that view might have been more entertaining than actually watching the real thing.
It might have been. But it was, like Carlos mentioned, the first half. Like, second half, there was weather. But the first half, it was honestly just looking at it in stats-wise and watching the game cast. It was concerning that this was the product that the NFL was producing the game before the biggest game of the year. And I'm saying that not just to pick on Eric. I'm saying it in general. I know it was unfortunate with the Bo Nix injury, but I mean, you got to take what comes, and this was not a good product. And people are going to say, well, Mahomes wasn't in it, Lamar wasn't in it, and this and that, but I don't know. Congrats. I told you before we started recording, congrats, Eric. But it has, like, go a week prior. You even said, y'all got lucky. Houston beat themselves. And in this sense, you could almost argue that Denver beat themselves even with the backup Jarrett Stidham. So, as a Patriots fan and a big football guy and all of that, I know that you are. I'm surprised you don't have all the jerseys changed out in the background. You have to be concerned, accept it and be happy that y'all made the Super Bowl and everything, obviously, but you have to be concerned that this is the momentum you have going into the Super Bowl. Letting CJ Stroud and the Texans beat themselves, and then the backup Jarrett Stidham and the Denver Broncos essentially beat themselves.
Go ahead, Eric. This is your moment. I didn't watch the game, so I am abstaining. I have already laid out the case and the point. I brought in the stats. I brought in the numbers. I already demonstrated my power over the maths and hashtag rigged, so my power is not to be questioned. So I will allow you, Eric. Eric, make the case. And by the way, why aren't you wearing a Patriots jersey, Mr. Fake Patriot fan?
I do not own. I own a sweatshirt.
Wow, Brandon. Wow.
I have two Patriot hats. I'm wearing one at the moment, and I have a Patriot sweatshirt. I mean, how much? How much do I need?
A jersey.
I don't want a jersey. I don't want one.
You know what, Eric? I will give you a half point. Going back to your previous, I'll tell you what. I'll give you a half a point multiplier. Okay. If I get a soliloquy for you, I'm thinking like 3 minutes. I want a 3-minute soliloquy giving praise to Thomas, Edward, Patrick, Beavis, Butthead, Brady. And I want the soliloquy to include glory for his autograph, and that your friends who got the autograph from him should be grateful. They should get on their hands and knees and worship the ground that this man walks on, that he deigned to autograph their trash. You do that, I'll give you half a point.
Look, everything I had to watch the Fox broadcast of the NFC game yesterday, because he is so bad. He's just obnoxiously bad.
Brandon, he's not earning this half a point. Like, this half a point is Brandon, I gave him 2 additional things that are half a point. Brandon, for the record, I gave him 2 options for half a point that did not involve eating something he objects to. 2.
If you want me to give a soliloquy of his playing days and how great he is as a quarterback, that is.
Oh, no, I also want the autograph thing. I want you to throw your friends under the bus. I want you to throw them under the bullet train.
Tom Baby is.
And then I want you to back the bullet train up and then fire over the bullet train again.
Keep in mind that he's a piece of shit. He owes me money.
The soliloquy will end with my personal God, Lord and Savior, Tom Brady.
You want me to talk about him on a football field? I got nothing but praise. Off the football field, the man owes me money.
Wow. Brandon, see, I try. Brandon, for the record, commenters, did I not try? Did I not offer alternatives? Did I not offer additional options?
We leveled the playing field.
I did what I could. If it was me, Brandon, and I wanted this opportunity to claim victory, you could have given the soliloquy while playing Wish You Were Here in the background.
Nope.
And earned a full point.
Nope.
Eating a BLT sandwich, just racking up the points, Brandon.
So
racking up the multipliers.
So what are your thoughts on the game, Eric? And what are your thoughts of the foreseeable game?
Okay. So
truthful thoughts.
Okay. All right. I'll make this pretty simple. All we do is win, 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 win. All we do is win, 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 win. All we do is win, 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 win.
That's just getting clipped, just so you know. It'll get clipped, and it will be used at the moment where it will crush him the most.
He's never saying that for the Bruins.
No, not even close. Wow.
Just saying.
Just wow. Brandon, for the people that question whether this shit's scripted or not, like, I had no idea he was going to do that crap. Otherwise, I would have made him full screen when he was doing that shit. Brandon, full disclosure, full truth for everybody. I was so shocked at what just happened there. I couldn't even get the forethought to click the button to make it full screen while that shit's going on to make the clip even better. I can still make it work, and I will. But I'm just saying, if I had known it was coming, Brandon, I would have already been all about this. Boom. When all that crap is happening. I wasn't ready. I didn't even know.
People have been bashing them all year
because they're trash.
Because of the strength of schedule, blah, blah, blah. Lost to the Raiders, blah, blah, blah. This kid is a sophomore in the league. He is probably going to come in second in MVP voting to Stafford. Because they, right now, if they were going to vote right now, he'd probably win, right? Because he's going to the Super Bowl.
If they were going to vote right now, no, you're wrong. Given the 86-yard performance and Matthew Stafford actually playing like an NFL quarterback, not only would Drake May not be involved in the conversation, I think Josh Rosen is ahead of him on MVP voting based on that performance.
That's ridiculous. So, this kid and this team, because Drake May only threw. It's a team game. I don't care if he's Trent Dilfer. You think Trent Dilfer gives a shit when he's sitting there looking at a Super Bowl ring and sitting in his mansion?
Well, Eric, my point is that he's not Trent Dilfer. My point is that Trent Dilfer is at least twice as good as he is. Mathematically, he's twice as good.
If this kid comes home with the ring on his finger, it's all good.
If they win, Eric, will you actually buy a jersey, you cheap bastard?
Everybody that was put in front of them. They had this weak schedule. Okay, fine. They went undefeated on the road. Okay, you went into other people's stadiums and won. They get into the playoffs because of their easy schedule. Okay, now it's whoever shows up, let's play. And they beat everyone that the NFL sent to them. All three teams that they beat had exceptional defenses. Exceptional. All three, especially the Texans, who had probably the number one defense in the entire NFL.
I think they were 2 or 3.
Exceptional defense. All three teams. And they beat them. They beat them on both sides of the ball. And when it mattered, Drake May, this sophomore, did what he had to do. Yesterday, we needed that first down to seal the game. The kid calls an audible on the line and does this runaround thing, gets the first down, wins the game. I am all about that type of player.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the fact that neither one of you in your ramblings and utter obnoxious silliness did not mention that both these teams played in a blizzard.
Actually, I literally did. And he also mentioned the weather.
And played in a freaking blizzard. And the wind was so bad, the kickers couldn't make a 30-yard kick because the wind was so bad. And you want to get on this kid because he only threw for 86 yards. You can't throw it in a freaking blizzard.
Stidham had 133.
And when did he do that? Before the storm. And most of it was on the first play of the game.
Okay, so, all right, but we'll give him the storm. How many yards do you think May had all 3 playoff games?
How many yards?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think he probably... all 3, he probably threw for 300 and something when combining all 3. Probably 300 and something yards with all 3 games.
You got him at like 100 yards a game?
Less credit than
Come on
had.
now.
He had 5.
If he had 86 in a blizzard, he would have more in a non-blizzard, don't you think?
I went low because I assumed that was the trick, was he was going to get me with.
Oh no, it's still low, but
so I played Price is Right rules.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was seeing if Stafford beat him yesterday.
I'm just curious in that Houston game. In that Houston, you talk about the defense and everything. What's funny is he had less than 180 yards against the Houston team, and you say he beat him on both sides of the ball. Well, it's not hard to beat him on the offensive side of the ball when C.J. Stroud had a historically bad game, literally one of the worst games possible.
But is that 100% Stroud's fault? Or did the Patriots defense have something to do with him having a bad game? Why is
Stroud's game was bad enough?
Stroud has been bad against everybody. Stroud has been bad against everyone.
He ended up in the second round of the playoffs. What do you mean?
Yeah, based on the defense. based on the defense.
Right, which again was one of the top in the entire NFL, and the Patriots beat them. You guys, I understand it's, you know, you guys like having fun with me and busting my balls and torturing me, but your arguments aren't making sense.
Yes, they are, Eric. Hold on. I will. Let me lay it out. Let me lay it out more clear way.
Have it both ways.
Yeah, you can. When the Houston would have beaten New England with an average quarterback, I could have literally found someone off the street and they would have beaten the Patriots. CJ Stroud was transcendently bad. I don't give a fuck about New England's defense. They were Stroud didn't have to be great. He didn't have to be good. He needed to be average, and he couldn't manage that. He was making plays that an average quarterback can make and failing to do so. And it's not because of New England's defense, because Jarrett Stidham had no problem throwing a touchdown on the New England defense before the blizzard kicked in. Stroud did not have a blizzard. There was no blizzard. He had 4 quarters of no blizzard and couldn't do that. CJ Stroud could not match Jarrett Stidham's performance against the same defense with no blizzard. CJ Stroud was worse in better conditions. He was worse in better conditions than a backup quarterback was in worse conditions against the same defense.
Stroud did not play a good game. No one is saying that he did.
Stroud hasn't played a good game in 2 years.
Then why is he how in the world?
Because the coaches were stupid and didn't pull him. Everybody agrees they should have pulled his ass. No, he wasn't.
To win a game, their offense must have scored points at some point during the season to make them a playoff team. And the Patriots defense was just so overwhelming to him. Plus he sucks. He couldn't do a damn thing out there. So you can't just blow the Patriots off. They're going to the Super Bowl. They don't deserve it. They didn't beat anybody. They beat everybody. They were undefeated on the road. They beat Buffalo twice.
Mm-hmm. All right. Twice. So I'm going to answer Eric's question. Brandon, I'm going to answer Eric's question because now I got it in front of me. Here is CJ Stroud's game logs. I'm not going to go every individual stat, but you'll get my point in a second. CJ Stroud's last 5 games, including the New England game. They played against the Raiders. Are the Raiders good, Brandon?
Hell no.
He had 187 yards and 1 touchdown. Okay. He played against the Chargers, obviously a better team. He had 2 touchdowns, 244 yards. All right, fine. Seems decent enough. He played against Indy. Is Indianapolis a good team? Not this year.
They weren't that started good until
they had Phillip Rivers by that point. Yeah, they had Phillip Rivers by that point. 169 yards, 1 touchdown against the vaunted Indy defense. This is CJ Stroud. He had 250 yards against Houston, 1 touchdown. Okay, not great. And he was sub 60% in one of these in completion percentage against not great teams. All right, fine. And then against the Patriots, 212 yards. So he was actually better mathematically against them than Indy and better against them than the Raiders. But he also threw 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions. No, everybody stopped CJ Stroud. Even when he got yards, he barely recorded touchdowns. By the way, Eric, in those games, they won 4 out of 5 games despite CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud was not helping them. They won 4 out of 5 games. And in those 4 out of 5, remember, I said 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns, 1 touchdown, 1 touchdown, 1 touchdown. Mm-hmm. In those games, the team where the quarterback can manage 1 touchdown put up 23 points, 20 points, 38 points. He threw 1 touchdown. 1 touchdown, they had 38 points. It had nothing to do with him. 30 points against the Pittsburgh. They crushed the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he had 1 touchdown. That's defense. The defense is doing the job. And then against the Patriots, they managed 16 points, 1 touchdown. Thanks.
And the Patriots beat that defense. The Patriots deserve credit. You just said they have no offense. They won all those games. They made it to the playoffs and made it to the second round because their defense is so great and the Patriots beat their defense. Why doesn't the Patriots get credit for that? Why is it all about their offense? You just proved your point. The offense sucks. The defense wins them games. got them into the playoffs, got them to the second round, and then the Patriots beat that vaunted defense. How about good job, Patriots?
The Patriots didn't beat the vaunted defense. 4 interceptions. They beat the not vaunted offense with 4 interceptions against the quarterback who has been terrible for a while.
I'll still say it's a team game, and I don't understand why again, we've seen Baltimore, they won a Super Bowl on just unbelievable, one of the best defense of all time. When the Patriots lost to the Bears in 85, the 85 Bears had, still to this day might have had the best defense in history. And it was just a whooping. The Patriots couldn't move 5 yards. It was horrible. There's nothing wrong with having a good defense. You think Jim McMahon's in the Hall of Fame because he was such a great offensive player?
He's not in the Hall of Fame.
No,
Jim McMahon's not in the Hall of Fame.
He's not.
So
he's not.
Serious note, Eric. Okay, so on a serious note, I went and looked at the away games. Okay, because you've thrown up that they won on the road, every game on the road. During the regular season, I'll give them 2 teams that they beat on the road out of the 8. I think it was 8. That, okay, you beat Buffalo by 3, and then you beat Tampa. The rest of the teams, not really so much on. But you keep talking defense, right? On a serious note, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident or how much do you think that the Patriots have a chance against Seattle?
Oh, I don't think it's overwhelming. I think it's, I think it's going to be a lot of play calling. It's going to be a lot of coaching, preparing, and guys not making mistakes.
Okay.
Seattle's a very strong team.
Just so you know, Seattle gave up the least amount of points in the NFL this season.
Yeah, they're a great team.
So that's the defense that you're going up against.
Last weekend. I didn't even hesitate. There was no hemming and hawing. I was like, you guys asked me, who's your pick? Seattle. There was no doubt. Even though the Rams, their offense is so great and probably going to win the MVP with Stafford. Their wide receivers are crazy. Their running backs great. I mean, so many people picking the Rams. I went Seattle. So yeah, it's good. It's an uphill battle, but you got to play the game, and we'll see what happens. And I don't see they have a chance. I don't think anyone who thinks they're going to go in there and it's like this game shouldn't even happen. It's going to be a complete blowout. It's going to be embarrassing. This is going to, they should just call the game and just give the trophy to Seattle. That's stupid.
Well, I think part of that is because of the way the Patriots have looked the last 2 weeks. And quite honestly, if CJ Stroud had even a glimpse of a better game than what he had, Patriots likely were eliminated there. If Bo Nix didn't get a freak broken angle on a kneel down, they would have been out there. So, yeah. Or theoretically, they probably would have been out there.
That's kind of the point I was making a little earlier. The problem isn't that the Patriots defense was so amazingly great, is that CJ Stroud has been played shitty so many times this season that him playing shitty again was not a shock. I don't think they needed an all-time great defense to slow him down and stop him, because he wasn't showing anything against anybody. The problem was they just needed adequate. They just needed, please don't throw the ball around recklessly and stupidly. 4 interceptions is not a great defense. 4 interceptions is you are throwing to the wrong places for reasons we can't figure out.
Well, wasn't the game before that? Didn't he fumble 3 or 4 times?
Yeah. He actually has I think he's either first or tied for first or close to it in terms of number of turnovers by a quarterback in the first 2 games of playoff. I forget what the exact figure was. There was a figure where in terms of turnovers, he actually had a historically bad playoff this playoff. Based on how bad he was, they had no business being anywhere beyond the first round. They shouldn't have even been in the playoffs at all. They're a non-playoff team that had a defense that was carrying them. The problem is the defense can't play quarterback. The defense is please don't give up points. All we're asking you to do is don't give up points, because if you throw an interception and it's a pick six, we can't do shit about it. That doesn't allow us to stop them. We can't do anything if you screw it up to that degree.
When the playoffs start, you play who the NFL sends. They played 3 teams. They beat 3 teams. Now they're in the Super Bowl. We'll see if they can beat a 4th team.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. NFC Championship. A much more entertaining game. More enjoyable. We had a little bit of back and forth. I did appreciate the Rams put up a fight. That was good. I think that made it a lot more entertaining. I will say, Brandon, as a non-Sam Darnold believer, except when it comes to eBay listings, in which case I believe greatly. eBay listings. Just saying. Good performance by Sam Darnold, though. Good performance. Very solid. Very good. 350 yards. Very nice. Very nice. Seattle did the job. And they almost messed it up, though, because they had the taunting penalty, which was weak.
Yeah.
The taunting penalty was weak.
That touchdown.
It's either you have to look at it on either side of the coin. Either grow up, act like an adult, be a professional, keep your mouth shut, and just play the game. Okay, that's side A. Side B of the coin, the second, the other side of the coin is this is a bunch of grown men, and there's actually a penalty for taunting. He said something mean to me. Hey, official, he said something mean to me, hurt my feelings. Hey, that guy right over there, number 27, he said something mean to me. I think it's utterly ridiculous. Can you imagine like what was being said and done in the 70s and 80s in the NFL? I mean, just think about what like those Raiders teams were saying. Think what like Lawrence Taylor was doing and saying. Can you imagine someone going, LT said something mean to me. Hey, official, he taunted me. My feelings are hurt. It's the fact that a taunting in professional football exists is the most pansy ass thing next to wearing those skull caps that do nothing for concussions.
Are you sure? Maybe you should try one of those on Friday. Couldn't hurt.
Since we're talking penalties and pansy asses and all of this, what is your take? Because I have a big issue. This is something that I feel the NFL really doesn't handle very well. And I know he wasn't an integral part of the game yesterday. But why in the fuck is Stephon Diggs playing if he is facing a criminal felony assault charge, but they've allowed the case to be delayed until after the Super Bowl so he can play in the playoffs? Why is the NFL allowing him to play? If you at your job go into work and say, hey, boss, I might have to go to the court. I'm being charged with felonious assault. Do you think that they're not going to like look into things?
Well, Eric, before you respond, Eric,
the NFL.
Before you respond, allow me to use a button to respond. Live coverage from Roger Goodell's office.
First of all, there are 2 New England Patriots who within days apart were both charged with assaulting women. Okay. Diggs came out first, and a few days later, a second player whose name I'm forgetting at the moment also was charged with beating his long-term baby mama girlfriend. This has been an issue. Now, being serious. All right. So just keep that in mind.
Their nickname is the National Felons League.
Yes, I was going to get to that. This has been an issue in the National Felons League for decades.
Mm-hmm.
So a league where you can't say mean things to each other will allow you to beat your baby mama and still play. Now, why is this allowed? It again, being very serious. The number one reason is the union. Unless you, and this isn't any job, if you were a police officer, a firefighter, a teacher, city employee, whatever, your union is going to defend you 100%. And they're going to say anyone can bring charges against anybody. You cannot punish someone unless they're found guilty. That's what a union rep is going to say. And the lawyers in the union are going to fight. So that is mostly what the NFL has stood by, especially in the Goodell era, where we have to wait and see how this pans out. And, we're going to deal with it this way and that way and blah, 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 blah. I mean, Dante Stallworth killed someone while driving drunk. A man who was going to his second job, crossing the street to catch the bus, and Stallworth hit him in his Porsche or Lambo or Ferrari or one of these super high-end cars and killed him. Came back and played in the NFL. After killing a man. I have never respected the NFL for how they continue to allow criminals to play. Stephon Diggs is a huge name. He's been a huge name for years. His girlfriend, Cardi B. Now, I couldn't pick her out of a crowd, nor could I name one song, but I am told she's a big deal. You take a superstar off the field with his superstar girlfriend, right? This affects the NFL's bottom line. The NFL cares about money. I think I have felt for a long time they stopped caring about how they look, and they only care about money.
Mm-hmm.
They are the number one sport. Actually, I take that back. They're the number two sport in America. You know what the number one sport in America is, right? NASCAR.
Drinking?
No. Close. NASCAR. There you go. They're the second biggest sport in America. They're worth billions upon billions upon billions. And they're constantly trying to find a way to go global. Taking their star players off the field, no bueno. And the unions fight like sharks to make sure that these players who continue to commit crimes, whether it be killing people in crosswalks, drug abuse, drug crimes, gun crimes. I mean, look at that moron who plays in the NBA. Ja Morant or whatever it is. How many times he been caught with guns? He's playing. He's a straight up hoodlum criminal. He's playing in the NBA. Why? Because he's unbelievably good. And until the fans say, I am no longer buying tickets for this product until you clean up your act, nothing will change. So my hope is if either one of these patriots are truly guilty for what they did, I hope they have the highest amount of consequences. And whether that happens the day before the Super Bowl or the day after, I have no control over that. But if they're both guilty of putting their hands on these women, one of them is that Diggs is his personal chef, and the other one's his baby mama. Put him in jail.
Well, the reason I brought this up is I dealt with this before I was a Ravens fan. It's actually how I became a Ravens fan. The guy that I did the website for, Jerome Simpson, he was literally busted ordering, and of course today it wouldn't be as big of a deal probably, but he was ordering marijuana from California and having it FedExed across the country.
Robert Parrish, Boston Celtics.
And the feds intercepted it in San Diego, followed the package to his doorstep, knocked on the door, and, you know, it's like, hey, what's going on here? Searched his house, and they didn't find, you know, ounces or whatever. You know, they found pounds of marijuana.
Yeah, he's
and my biggest thing was at the time, I think this happened around 2010. You know, it was all over ESPN and everything else. My son was aware who Jerome was. He had met him, all of this, you know. And how am I explaining to my son that he's facing, you know, federal charges and what he had done? And then the team, like, they just didn't, there was no discipline. It was just business as usual. We'll handle it in the off season. And I'm like, if this was me or any other Joe Schmo on the street, we would have been locked up. We would have had no bail. Like I just hate the way that's operated.
But you still may keep your job if you have a strong union.
It's still like, I don't know that we wouldn't, a regular individual wouldn't be arrested and booked and held in jail until the court case on some
a regular
of these
individual.
charges.
Yeah, look. I let it go for a bit, but I'm going to kind of curtail the conversation here momentarily, because at the end of the day, you're litigating something that has been going on a long time in the professional sports.
Yeah,
Eric cited a bunch of different examples, but look, just to bring it all the way around, kind of to bring it back into some of the conversations we've had in the past. Eric, do you remember what happened with Danny Healy?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Just to be clear, and we're all on the same page here, Danny Healy was a young up-and-coming star with the Atlanta Thrashers.
Yep.
And back in the heady days of 2003, he was in a car crash. His teammate, Dan Snyder, died in the car crash.
Yep.
And Healy pled guilty to second-degree vehicular manslaughter, vehicular homicide. He pled guilty. And you know what he got? Probation. He got probation.
Now, I think he should have been held fully accountable, never played again, and thrown in jail. The reason, if you look and do the research, the reason that all happened the way it did is because the family of Snyder's family came to his defense and asked the district attorney and the judge to do that.
I know. I'm fully aware of that.
Because,
and that's dumb as hell. And that's dumb as hell. I don't care what you think.
Dumb as hell.
It's like you did the thing. To the
community and the city, and these are the laws. I don't care what that person has to say.
Yeah, the bottom line on that was, like, I understand the concept. Look, you want to forgive the guy, that's your business. He still did the thing. If it had been somebody else, maybe they're not as forgiving. So, like, the point is, you still did the thing.
Yeah,
the promise, you still did the thing. So, Brandon, somebody died, and you know what the guy went? He went on to get traded to Ottawa. Had 250-goal seasons and went on about his business. The NHL didn't give a shit.
No, because you.
And you know, I think some of it comes down to, and this is another example that I know we've had this discussion in the past. I don't exactly remember your intrigue or connection with him, but I think sometimes the punishment and the way it's proceeded upon depends on if there's public evidence of it. Like, obviously, we can hear charges, we can hear what happened and that sort of thing. And you said the family came to the defense. Okay, that's all good and fine. Take the example of Ray Rice. It was on film. People seen what happened. His girlfriend, fiance at the time, stayed with him, married him. They're still happily married with kids, but he was banished from the league. So I think it's sometimes a matter of the evidence and the public eye on it, seeing what happened, or how much of it is just story and that they can sweep under the rug.
So I don't want to borrow from the show I do with Dan, but like I said, we're going to wound out of this topic here in a second. I want to finish with the NFC Championship. We're going to finish with that. But can I point out another factor that also kind of may have played into what you're talking about? Yes, it was on film. Yes, there was an outrage. Yes, there's a lot of things that happen in the NFL where there's outrage. Do you know what was Ray Rice's biggest problem in that situation? His production was in decline. That last season that he played, his production was down substantially from his previous season. He wasn't at the peak of his powers anymore. He wasn't good. He had 660 yards in 15 games. Well, if you're not useful anymore, out you go. Adrian Peterson got a lot of blowback for the issues that he had with his own kids and disciplining the way he did it.
His kids and stuff, yeah.
But Adrian Peterson was still really good. So even though that happened, yes, and there are a lot of parents out there. They're not keen on that. They're not cool with that situation. But Eric, he was still really good. Yeah. And at the time that happened, he was still at or near the peak of his powers. So they were like, okay, look, we're not happy about this. We're going to kind of scale back on this. But then what happened? I believe it was the 2014 season, because I've got him playing one game that year. So maybe that was the season. Okay, the next season, Eric, he had 1,485 yards on the ground, 11 touchdowns, and led the league in both stats. He was still at or near the peak of his powers.
Go to Arizona though, or did he stay?
This is later. This is all later.
Did he stay with the Vikings after?
This is still initially. He's still with the Vikings.
All right.
So I'll double check the exact timing on it. But the point is, he was away. He was gone for. He was gone. He only played one game in 2014. He might have also had an injury around that time. I'll get the time.
He had a knee injury.
Yeah. The point is that Adrian Peterson was still a great player. He was at or near the top of his powers. So when you're at or near the top of your game, you get way more latitude.
Michael Vick.
No, he was out of the league, and
he came back and
he came back though, and still was serviceable as like a backup. He still did some okay work. He still got to come back.
Candidate in Philadelphia.
Yeah, he still got to come back.
Yeah.
He was still able to do some stuff related to it. I'll find the timing on it. Here we go. I got it. 2014, Peterson was indicted by a grand jury in Texas on reckless or negligent injury to a child. So 2014. Free agent coming in the 2017 season, he signed with a 2-year contract. So in 2014, he was indicted. 2014, he was indicted by a grand jury. Well, then in 2015, he had almost 1,500 yards on the ground. So...
and that's one thing that I've hated, like ever since, and it's not even just the NFL, it's sometimes sports in general, but I can't stand the preferential treatment, especially within the legal system when it comes to athletes and stuff. And you can argue that it's the union or whatever. There's some big unions out there, but these guys got money. They're celebrities. They're all over TV. They're making these leagues, a bunch of money. They're selling jerseys, the gambling that's involved, all of that. And I hate that they go out there and basically can get away with murder at times. Hell, you could even bring the Ray Lewis and all that questionable stuff up. I just hate the way that that's handled. So
I agree. No, it's embarrassing.
Yep. That's what I say. Like, the bottom line comes down to this is that, yes, that's a whole separate topic for a separate conversation. But the bottom line is, no, there is preferential treatment, and it's not just league preferential treatment. It's also legal preferential treatment. Like I said, the Denny Heatley thing is, the family doesn't want you to pursue it. I don't care.
Yeah, it's up to the judge and jury, not the family.
Look, that's your business. You want to be homies with them. You don't want to invite him over to dinner and all that. That's great. That's
put money on his commissary and
good
lock
for
him
you.
up.
Hey, you're great people. I'm happy for you. If that's what you want to do, that's cool. Still be held accountable for your actions. The actions are the actions. You still did the thing.
It's a crime against the community. It's not, it's not just about the Schneider kid.
So like I said, that was the thing. So bottom line for me is I'm happy the NFC Championship was a good game. I like that it was back and forth. Believe it or not, what precipitated all this was the taunting penalty. And Lord knows we got way off the beaten path on that one. Good Lord. It was a taunting penalty. Jesus.
All right. And I don't want to go back down the thing, but he made a great point when we're going to give you a 15-yard penalty or whatever the hell it is, because you said mean words, but he just choked a bitch, and that's okay.
Well, he should have choked somebody instead of saying mean words, Eric. Words hurt.
It's so ridiculous. And the
NFL's hypocrisy could be 14 podcasts.
Yeah,
that's true.
But the point is, both things, going all the way back to the beginning of that conversation, two things can be true at the same time. I do think you need to show the discipline to pick your spots. There is a time and a place for you to open your mouth. And I also think it's a very soft call in the context of the situation.
Yeah.
But I also think the player needs to think about the situation also. But it's like, hey, dude, just pick your play and get off the damn field and let's go.
It might be a stupid rule, but it's a rule. You're a professional. You know that's a rule. Keep your mouth shut.
Yeah,
And
celebrate on the sideline with your
Well,
teammates.
with them.
Celebrate on the sideline with your teammates, and then you can talk all the trash you want in the world.
he got
There's a
an
time and a
earful.
place.
He got an earful from his teammates.
Yeah,
They
because from their perspective, it's a really dumb thing to do in the moment. It
Yeah.
literally, if you get back to your sideline, you could say all kinds of vile shit about the other team on your sideline, and everything's cool.
You got it.
Say anything you like. It's just pick your spot. And the problem was that, Eric, ironically, the problem wasn't that anybody on the other team said anything. The referee was literally right there.
Oh yeah.
That was the referee's the one making the call, saying, "All right, flag."
And the thing is, taunting doesn't even have to be quote vile shit.
Yeah.
It could be whatever the referee believes is your taunting.
Mm-hmm.
Eric, I happen to know. So, Brandon, I have inside information.
I'm gonna start throwing taunting flags on this show.
I happen to know for a fact that all he said is, "Eat some fucking mayo, loser."
Yeah.
Flag.
What?
That's it. That's all the man said.
I am getting a yellow hanky. I'm gonna start throwing yellow hankies left and right.
It's gonna be left and right, left, right, and center. It's incredible.
Well, the podcast and the lives are just going to get longer because we're going to have to go to booth reviews on some of this stuff.
Well, Eric, Brandon, hold on, Brandon. What Eric is telling us without telling us is that he wants to beat those silver and gold fuckers. He's like, 8.5 hours. Fuck you. We're going to crush you fools. Eric's going to be flagging all over the place.
Taunting.
We're going to take soccer rules. We're going to add bonus time. There's going to be extra time. Ah!
You're going to bring out the cards.
Yeah.
Yep. Red card, green card, blue card, red card, all the cards.
All the cards.
Every card we got. All the cards we got.
The rainbow.
Yeah. Unbelievable. So hopefully I'm going to have to, I'll be honest, Eric, I'm half tempted. Part of me is like, I should probably just cut out half of that shit because it just went on a whole tangent. On the other hand, it's content. Whatever.
I think it's a great conversation.
Flag.
Yeah. No, I think it's a great conversation and it makes a lot of sense. We're all sports fans. We collect sports cards of these players. And I think you could turn it right around into the collection of, I got to be honest, I've been working a lot lately. I haven't sold any dig stuff in forever. May stuff's going out the door.
How's the Aaron Hernandez stuff going?
No, we don't sell any of that. We don't. We still have stuff in stock from years ago, but nobody comes in and asks for it.
Damn.
Christian Gonzalez, the defensive player there. His stuff is flying off. Rashonde, I can never get the name.
Ramondre Stevenson.
Stevens, right? His stuff is flying. No one's coming in asking for dig stuff. And I think a lot of it has to do with what happened. It's like, fine, help us win, but I'm not collecting you. I don't want to see your cards in my collection. It's like the Hernandez stuff. Aaron Hernandez was a great player. Okay. Maybe by the end of his career, there would have been Hall of Fame discussions. Nobody wants to see his shit in their collection right now. It's not selling. No one's trading it. Nobody wants it. So when it comes to the collecting side, I mean, Diggs made that unbelievable catch the other day. I mean, May threw that ball, threaded the needle. Diggs was like sideways. I mean, it was an unbelievable catch through like 3 guys. Nobody came in the next day saying, "Oh my God, that catch got me so excited." You got any Diggs cards? You got any, yellow speckled, goose rainbows?
So you didn't sell any Diggs kabooms?
Don't have any.
That's because they're rare.
We're not investing in his stuff. We're going out and spending money to bring, May stuff in, Gonzalez stuff in, because that's what people are coming in and looking for. Nobody is coming in and buying dig stuff. The pile has not moved since his since the accusations. And at this point, that's all they are. And we know with the Duke lacrosse scandal, you can accuse people of all sorts of horrible things.
We're getting real deep now.
And it not be true. And you could ruin people's lives. And we know that it is possible. So that's why we have the court of law, and they got to go figure that stuff out.
So what you're saying is that no matter how much we suspect, no matter how much we know, when we're talking about the Dallas card show theft, it would be in bad taste to point to anyone in particular. I'm just saying, Brandon, the pieces fit. The pieces all fit. So yes, a couple of weeks. So we'll be the week off. Is actually, like I said, in this case, the week off, I'm actually quite happy for it because I'm happy to sell some Sam Darnold while they're getting good.
There you go.
Who knows after that? So it's like, listen, I'll take it. It's become literally before we hit record, there was a buy now on a Sam Darnold that I listed. I listed it with I priced it to move. I could have tried to be more aggressive, but I was like, no, let's take some money off the table while the getting's good. Listen, it's no silver or gold, but it's doing all right. We did all right on some of this stuff. Okay, so you can make a couple bucks. So real quick, I want to talk about one thing, and then we'll talk about the YouTube Hall of Fame to kind of finish off the episode. All right, real quick. I'll actually link it into the silver and gold conversation. I don't want to spend a bunch of time talking about that, but the concept is actually something kind of fun. Let me pose a question to you. When something goes up rapidly or surprisingly, or the timing just happens to work out, and the Sam Darnold thing is like a timing situation. It's like, hey, the team's doing well. He could not have performed much better in that NFC Championship game in a winning effort to contribute towards the winning effort. Like, he didn't just win the game. He looked good and put up some good numbers winning the game. That's key, Brandon.
So, and Eric, this is not a diss at the Patriots. I'm just prefacing this. I think some of the Sam Darnold rush right now is the feeling that they are winning the Super Bowl because they look like they are the much better team. And so going into the game, there is an interest in Darnold. Obviously, he had a great year last year, did very well with the Vikings. Now he's on the Seahawks, taking them into the Super Bowl, and the expectation is that he's going to win. So I think now, people are out there to get the rush. Now, I think the expectation from that is if they win, they think that the cards are going to increase, and we have actually seen the opposite take place. So I don't know that it's the best investment. But
so Brandon, so look, the reason I'm bringing this up is that history has shown us now that if you wanted to cash out, the time is around now, right around now, because the 2-week window actually look, right now on paper, the possibility is there. And because the possibility is there, some people are going to aggressively start chasing, and they're thinking the opposite. They're thinking, okay, so I get the card, and then if they win, then it goes up even more. The best case scenario, the absolute best possible case scenario is Seattle wins dominantly. Darnold has like 2 or 3 touchdowns, wins Super Bowl MVP. The ultimate redemption. That's the big exclamation point at the end of it. That's his best case scenario. Wins Super Bowl MVP, has some good numbers to win it. They win comfortably and dominantly. That's your best case. I don't think it goes up that much more right away. It's one of those things where, like, okay, congrats. This was a very good team. This was the next. We know that. So here, the good news for Darnold in that scenario is that we know that he's a good enough quarterback that when you've got a great team, he can get the job done. That's great. And by the way, that's not a bad thing for him. That's not an insult. Like, hey, you know what? With the right combination of players, you can be very good and useful and do the job. And it's not a Trent Dilfer situation. You can put up some numbers. You can do a little bit of all that and contribute towards the thing. There's no insult there. That's great. You haven't established yourself as a guy who can carry a team per se, because that's not the case here. But it's a situation where you can be in here and you can get the job done, get them where they need to go, and provide what they need in order to make that work.
Well, let's not forget he had to beat a Super Bowl winning quarterback with Stafford. So it wasn't like, he made it in that NFC Championship game against a nobody either. So
a future Hall of Famer, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Potential
about as good
MVP
a run.
this year.
It's about as good a run as you can hope for in order to try to sell the narrative. The story that you're looking for, that's a good narrative to sell. And by the way, the redemption from being at the bottom rung, the doldrums coming out of the Jets, going off the New York Jets, and basically being left to the scrap heap, going to Carolina, being a backup, I think, in San Francisco. Like, he actually had a journey to get to the Minnesota thing where it kind of resurrected his career. Even though it didn't work out, it resurrected his career. The fact that he was able to have a good performance in Minnesota. But then even Minnesota let him go. So, like, for the story purposes, for the narrative, Eric, the fact that the Jets situation ended about as badly as it could have. You look like you were just going to be some dude that was going to wind up on the side of the scrap heap. You go to Carolina, you're back up in a couple of places. You're trying to find a role. You're trying to find a job. You go to Minnesota. You have a resurrected season, but then it ends badly. Minnesota lets you go. And now you're in the Super Bowl, and Minnesota's on the outside looking in going, all we needed was competent quarterback play, and wait a minute, we literally let the dude walk out the door.
Yeah. Why can't
we didn't even want to take a shot.
Yeah, I don't think this is my opinion, and maybe it's prejudice, and you guys tell me, because talking about cards, okay? So
we're talking about cards.
I don't think if Seattle wins and all the right things happen and Darnold is MVP and throws for 300 yards and blah blah blah, I don't see his card price. I think you'll see a spike and then they'll flatten out or drop.
I don't even think you'll see the spike necessarily. Or if you see a spike, it'll be a couple of hours. Like literally hours. It's measured in hours, not even a day.
And I don't see him being the new hobby hero. However, with what and I know I'm local, so there's some prejudice built into this. But if Drake May wins the Super Bowl, and especially if he plays well, and he ends up getting 300 yards and the MVP of the Super Bowl, right, and wins, his cards are going to go through the freaking roof. Anything, a base card with his face on it, is going to go crazy. Never mind the immaculate stuff and the super kaboomies and the downtowns and the yellow speckled ostrich, orange, square yellow ones. I think he will be the new hobby hero. I think all over the entire hobby market, across the country, across, football fans in Canada, everywhere, his stuff is going to go to the moon. Where I don't see Donald doing that.
Interesting. So, Brandon, let's take this angle. Let's take a look at this together. And let's see, because I think this is a valid
just want to make
question.
sure that we let everybody know this is not investment advice. Do not listen to what was said and think that things are going to the moon, no matter the situation or outcome.
Yeah, I'm going to remind you that the person who uttered the previous utterances is the person who collects Reggie Lemon and thinks the Boston Bruins are actually a hockey team. All right, with those caveats in play, here is the Drake May Silver Prism PSA 10. So I'm using this as a metric, as a barrier, because there are enough of these out there that they trade on a semi-regular basis. So we can at least use this as kind of a barometer, kind of a gauge. And obviously with some of the other cards, you can play with it. All right. The last one that sold was $1,820. The card is already up 88.6% as we speak.
Since November.
Yeah, we're only talking 3 months here because I'm not paying for the card ladder premium. Eric's personal friend, the Hoj, is going to have to give me a free one because I'm not paying for it. But we're looking at 3 months worth of data here. And you can see that it's been on a steady uptick. You can see even from that chart, it's actually been upticking quite a bit the last 3 months. So I don't know. My kind of thing is the highest price that it sold for is $2,000 in the last 3 months. This card is a pop of 640, which isn't a little, but it's not like a crazy number. It's not low, but it's not this ridiculously high. It's not thousands and thousands and thousands of cards, but there's enough that you can get some sales and see kind of the general uptick. I don't know if I disagree with Eric, because the reality is, even if the Patriots win the Super Bowl, on his performances leading into this are not amazing performances. They're kind of, first go around Brady performances. They're game manager Brady performances. So if you win, great. If it's a good team effort, great. We just said a moment ago, if Darnold has a transcendent performance, Brandon, in relative terms, so I'm showing you this one, and then I'm going to come back to it in a second. But I actually, for the sake of this conversation, I want to do something. I'm going to come back. I'm going to do try for free. Let me do the Darnold. Let's do the Sam Darnold. Let's do the equivalent. Let me see if I can get
I wouldn't do the silver only because it's more rare. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because 2018 they were pretty rare.
All right. So let's just do your base. We'll do a percentage. We're not going to do the number. It's percentage. All right. So the last Sam Darnold sold for about $80. And there's 1,300 of those, but this is the base version. The thing is, they've gone up about 80% as well, but they've got a much lower number to go off of. The thing is, no one believes in the Darnold one, Brandon. If he gets the job done, well, then it's done. So it's one of those things where, again, I don't think it's going to explode after the Super Bowl because by that point, it will have been baked in. We've got 2 weeks of hype to build up here. So this is actually the point that I'm going to make here. Over this 2-week period now, we're recording this on Monday. Sunday just happened. But we've still got 2 weeks, basically 2 weeks. The reason I put my Darnold on the eBays, allegedly, is because even if I do a 7-day auction, Brandon, it ends a week before the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Hope springs eternal. Nothing has happened yet. Good, bad, or indifferent. Nothing has happened yet to affect this. Right now, the last thing we saw was Drake May threw for about 80 yards and Sam Darnold threw for 350. That's the last thing we saw. So that's our last visual of both these teams and both these performances. In the Super Bowl, it could be the reverse. It could be flipped. It could be whatever. We don't know yet. And because hope springs eternal, hope does more for the pricing of these cards than the result. The result is the result because if it goes up in the lead into it, and the result, all it does is confirm it. When Mahomes won his first Super Bowl, his card went down right after. His first Super Bowl. When he won his second Super Bowl, the card went down right after. But in the lead into it, it was going up because in the lead into it, hey, here's an opportunity to get another Super Bowl, or here's an opportunity to get your first Super Bowl. In the lead into it is kind of your time. And then in the immediate aftermath, it drops a bit. You go from that peak.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here, and I'm not saying that anything's going to change. And I'm going to go with the Drake May side here and try to give maybe a little I'm going to pretend to go along with what Eric said. There's a couple things that differ in this scenario than the past, like Mahomes situation and stuff, that potentially could help the Drake May situation. The hobby, I think, is in a completely different space, and we have some folks in here that they're new. They're throwing money around like crazy. You got the repack scene that's on a much higher scale and everything now. The other thing, and this is one that I don't know, based off of what Eric's saying as in the shop, I don't know if this could play into it. But if you do have the New England Patriots who had Brady, the card collectors, the league, everybody's always looking for the next Brady, and you have May coming in his sophomore year, if he could potentially pull out the Super Bowl, you might get some of those New Englanders to jump the gun a bit and be like, this is our next Brady, and he's going to take us to 6 Super Bowls and yada, yada. So does it make sense? Not exactly, but I guess people do some crazy shit, and it's possible.
All right, so let me pose a question, and then we'll move on to our last topic. Let me ask this. Eric, if this all comes to pass as you wish, the Patriots win the Super Bowl.
That'd be nice.
Drake May is MVP. He's glorious. He's magnificent. He performs admirably, does a great job. All good. Are we getting a jersey purchase? Are we getting, additional Drake Mays? Like, is the hype train rolling through? Eric, Bougie Eric HQ. Are we getting a Drake May jersey in the background? Like, are we getting anything?
Because you also will not find cards in here of current, NHL players. I have a hard.
Brandon, now you know what this means.
Marcel. I tend not to collect modern players. I grabbed this one at work,
Grabbed?
Yep. Stole it completely. Just you got it. And so I have, a relatively low end rookie card of May. All right. I think it cost me like $8, at the time I purchased it. I don't know what it's worth now. So, I'm good. I don't need to spend money on somebody that could be my son. I don't collect like that. I don't collect for investment. My money goes to vintage hockey. Okay. That's where it goes. And I can't collect other things. Okay. I got my Gordie Howe autographs. I got my Eddie Shore autographs. I cannot start throwing the money towards Drake May cards.
But Eric, counterpoint. You do have the Kiss coin fortune.
I do have the Kiss coin.
Brandon, look. It's pretty strong. Look at that, Eric.
Where are those? Hold on. Let me
110.76 per troy ounce. Eric is sitting on a gold mine. Silver mine in this case.
For those who don't watch the Friday show, I opened up this my box of stuff the other day on Friday live.
Some would say the tickle trunk.
And found these two Kiss coins. Okay, one's of Ace, one's of Gene. All right, there was a set of 4.
And appropriately, they're both dirty. They're filthy. Good Lord.
Whatever. I didn't really care. But if you can make it out somehow, it says 1 troy ounce of silver. And they're very heavy. And I would say that they're worth $100+ each because of the silver content. 0.999 fine silver, 1 troy ounce. That's what it says on both of them. I have a third one here that's smaller, but I'm not getting, there's nothing written on it. The Gene, the Gene engraving is the same, but I'm not getting anything that says that they're silver, so I'm guessing it's not. But these say they're 1 troy ounce each. So that's $200+ in silver right there. Because of Kiss.
Eric.
Yeah.
Look on the back of the Gene Simmons one. Is there a date on the backside under the Kiss logo?
Hold on.
1996, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know what they sell for, but there's one listed right now. I just did a quick search for $600 or best offer on just the Gene Simmons.
Yeah. So somebody wants to give me $600 for it. It's this.
Let me see if I can find any solds here.
I'm trying to find my magnifying glass, and I can't find the damn thing. I'll try this one. This one was my grandmother's.
This one sold for $100. So my bad for getting your hopes up.
Look, Brandon, all I'm saying is that it sounds to me like Eric is prepared with a Kiss-related windfall to go all in on Drake May, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. I mean, that could get you an optic rookie maybe.
Oh yeah. But anyways, yeah. Because there's small writing underneath the logo, like you asked me to sing, but then lower it says 1996, 1997. But I do want to see what the fine print says. Let me use my phone magnifying glass here.
As Eric tries to search to find out how much of his ill-begotten gains, his fortune, he's going to be transferring over. He'll be cashing out his 401k and everything. Don't listen to Eric. He will be cashing out everything, every earthly position he has, and going full Drake May. It's like going full Manoa, except the guy's name is Drake.
It says in the small print, says copyright 1996 Kiss catalog limited. I think it says catalog. So 1996.
That's code. That's Latin for Gene Simmons stole your money.
I probably paid.
Is Reggie going to be upset when that jersey behind you gets replaced?
Yeah, when it gets replaced, and now all of a sudden you're like, all in on Drake May.
I'm
The
hoping
room gets painted red.
we called him last week, and we're trying to set something up for him to come in the shop so I can get all my stuff signed, because I got a lot of stuff I need signed.
Who, Reggie, Drake, or Gene
No.
Simmons?
Reggie. I want Reggie to come in. If I had a choice between those three, I'd pick Reggie.
Would you?
Yes.
You could have Gene Simmons confirm if your coin's even real.
No, I just want Reggie.
All right. I'm just saying. Just thought I'd ask the question, Brandon. You know, these are questions we got to ask. All right. On that bombshell, we're going to finish off on this.
Okay.
We don't know the exact date because the video hasn't come out announcing it. But the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame is nigh. It is around the corner.
What's that?
It is approacheth. It is approacheth. And look, I discussed this on the video with Dan, but I'm going to reiterate it here. There is only one choice. The choice is this channel.
That's it.
Ignore everybody else. They all suck. They're trash.
That's right.
This channel and this channel only. Why? One man kazoo parade. What does it sound like? It sounds like one man playing a kazoo like a moron and us making content on it, Brandon. I don't feel like it needs additional explanation. Like, just there's one guy playing a kazoo like a dumbass, going up and down the streets, harassing neighbors with a kazoo, having a one-man kazoo parade. Who else can offer that?
No.
Yeah. The
Nobody.
choice is there. There's only one choice.
The choice is obvious to me. Eric, produce the kazoo. We might need the people to know we're serious. We've shown it before, but we need to make sure we're clear on this. We're not joking. He has a kazoo. See, the
It's even
kazoo
in
is
a
real.
fancy case to stay protected and fresh to play the best notes possible.
We spared no expense, Brandon. We spared no expense. Look at it. It's there.
Metallic blue.
Think about it, people. Think about it. That's how close. Your vote could help decide when and if the one-man kazoo parade happens. We're right there.
Who else gives you a Friday filled of hours of entertainment?
And hours. And hours. And
Who gives you
hours.
the silly card of the week to let you vote unabated? We count them all. Everything comes into question. Who can give you a full playing a kazoo for your vote? Nowhere else. We don't see anywhere else offering these things.
All facts. Every last one of them are all facts. All right. So between the beginning, Brandon, and the kazoo conclusion, I believe this has been a successful train wreck. It really has.
If only he could do the all we do is win, win, win on the kazoo.
If I had just, Brandon, I may just include that ridiculous clip at the end of this just because. Anyway, that's it. We're done. Brandon, I had to go. Listen, I had to go for the two for tonight. Like, it's just nonsense, foolishness, all of it. Patriots suck. If they win the Super Bowl, it's illegitimate. I think they should just cancel the NFL and get a real league. That said, we'll find out 2 weeks, 2 weeks time. Please don't take any investment advice. Don't buy any Sam Darnold or Drake May cards in the lead into this, unless you're buying them from me, in which case, yeah, please spend as much as possible. You know, defensively show them on my behalf. Please do that. But outside of that, no, just wait until after the game's over. After the game's over, you'll be able to establish. You'll know who won. You'll be able to figure all that out. It'll be fine. That's the play. Unless you're buying it from me, in which case, Eric, spend bid early, bid often, bid all the time. Carlos likes him, but Carlos likes him some monies. It's all about the monies.
You do like the monies.
Brandon, Bobbles and Ball Cards, known Associated 540 Flips. Eric, Coach Eric / Coach Paul / Coach Dave. He's all the coaches. Sanderson or on Instagram. You can send all your hate mail to him. You can tell him. You can send him QBR stats for Drake May. He's into debating that with you. He will debate it with you at length. It'll be incredible. He'll talk about DVOA. He'll talk about the Patriots defense. All the scintillating football analysis. And gentlemen, we'll reconvene in 1 week and find out how much further along we are on the multiplier. So right now, Carlos is at 1. Brandon is at 0, and Eric is at 0. But I gave him opportunities. He has chances.
Eric, I just had a thought.
Oh, Christ.
Sam Darnold had more yards than Drake May, even if you were to put Drake May's yards in defeat.
These are all facts.
He played in a blizzard.
In the second half. In the first half, he played in regular cold New England weather. What are we complaining about?
In Denver.
I was just ending on some maths.
Just saying, all about maths. Anyway, that's it. If you got any comments, feel free to put them in the comment section. We're happy to get your opinions. We went off the beaten path there quite a bit towards the tail end there, but it happens. It is what it is.
Good conversations on the beaten paths.
Mm-hmm. More videos coming up on the channel. Live streams on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The longest running episodic, whatever it is, we don't know. Some would say that it has gone on for at least 1,900 consecutive Fridays.
38 years.
Some have said that.
Ish.
That's facts. Some have said that. We're going to roll with it. And Eric will be there with bells on.
It's been the worst.
Egging me on to defeat the silver and gold boys. I don't know. 9-hour live stream? 10-hour live stream? 30-hour live stream? Who knows? Probably the regular kind. Regardless, that's it for us. Have a good one. Catch you in the next one.
All we do is win, 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 win. All we do is win, 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 win. All we do is win, 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 win.